Hey everybody, Kevin here from ChangeWorks Interactive. Today we have a very special guest. We're joined by Dan Rogers, and I want to tell you a little bit about Dan. He's a very interesting guy. Dan's an ex-hockey player. He's played in the OHL. He's played for Lakehead University. I had the chance when I was younger to play against Lakehead, but they're way better now. They're a great hockey program now, and I know that Dan had some really good experiences there. Dan is an owner of a couple of different businesses. He owns, along with his wife, owns a company called rxRecourse, as well as Streets Gym. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the evolution of both of those businesses today. Dan's also a practitioner of fitness. He has over 20,000 hours of on-task coaching and working with athletes. That's really amazing. Dan, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I know you've done so much in the field, and the more that I get to talk to you, the more I'm fascinated by, first of all, how you got in the business, what this business is all about, and the way that you guys, sort of your business model about creating community. I guess that's really important to your business.
Yeah, it's where I started. So my fitness journey to get to coaching started with playing hockey. I had coaches in minor hockey who made it a part of our off-season training where they gave us guidance on what to do and would check in with us and just ensure it was part of the big picture for the 12 months leading into the season. So I looked up to those coaches, and that really set the tone for me staying active throughout my hockey career, making sure I was paying attention to anything that was a weakness. So I was less injury prone, ready for playoffs. I really enjoyed it personally and doing it with others. So that's kind of where things led throughout hockey. And that's not an uncommon story for a variety of people. I ended up being introduced to CrossFit in Milton in 2008, and I fell in love. And I fell in love with it being a workout environment that was with a group of people. So I love that community aspect to working towards common goals. And I've flourished in that. I've been an assistant captain my entire life. And I love being a part of that environment. So I really fell in love with that. Ended up already having an experience with coaching and strength conditioning to lead me into coaching shortly after I started doing CrossFit. And then I have progressed in a way that has allowed me to, when my wife and I had opened up a gym and then have all the hours and experience that we have now.
That's great. That's awesome. So you worked with some pretty high-end athletes, I imagine. But let's say, I don't know, let's say some sort of 55, 56-year-old guy walks into your gym. He's graying a bit. Maybe he's a little losing it a bit on top, a bit of a belly, has some aches and pains, some shoulders, maybe a back. Do you work with those athletes as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a ton of members that have come in at a later stage. So I'm talking about 50 years old, and we've met them where they are. We go through our discovery session to see what they've been doing, what their goals are, and where we can start with their training. And then we help them get into the best shape of their life over the course of 2-3 years through consultation and guidance and belief. And we love working with somebody who maybe thinks that they don't have a future with being independent physically, or think that they're at the end of their athletic career. We love working with those clients. So absolutely.
That's cool. Hypothetical only, right?
Hypothetical.
The more I know about your business, Dan, and sort of the philosophy that you guys have, it seems to be a lot about creating community. So maybe let us know how you go about doing that. How do you create community with the members that you have?
So there's two things. As you mentioned, my two businesses are Streets Gym, which is a physical location. So my physical location, I just lean on things that have been successful in the past through team building activities with my hockey team, and things that I see as I assess group settings at the gym. So things like a partner workout. So you and I would work towards completing tasks or working together in that workout. I work on those. That's one of the ways, having there be opportunities for people who otherwise don't have team building opportunities with their work or not being part of clubs to come to our gym and be part of that. That builds community, conversation. Jim and John have never talked to each other in class. Guess what? I'm going to put Jim and John together in their next class, and they're going to be partners. And there's amazing things. We've had best friends, people have gotten married. It's been amazing from those things. Separate for rxRecourse, we're virtual, so we can't get people to the same location. However, we can have there be community elements where we connect people through talking about and performing healthy activities, through having discussions be not just about like the weekend and work stuff, but about health and wellness and all these other things. And that builds a positive team environment and a good community within the corporate setting.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we all know that COVID's taken its toll on a lot of different people. What are you hearing, Dan, from some of the members, and tell us maybe how challenging that's been for your business too?
So it was really challenging. Obviously, we're a gym in Peel, and that's been one of the hardest hit spots in Ontario for businesses, restaurants and gyms in Peel. And it was very challenging because we had a 7-year business that was exactly where we thought and hoped it would be prior to locking down in March. And it was a variety of things were going well, and we were pleased and not surprised, but grateful for where we were at. And then lockdown came and memberships gone. People weren't interested in jumping into an online community, and a variety of other things occurred that honestly decimated the community at our gym. It decimated it. And it was hard because these are relationships with which I've had for a long period of time. And these are people who I know leaned on the community to lift their spirits during challenging times, whether it's personally or professionally, and who have used the gym as a way to, to celebrate common goals that we're all working towards. That was what it was. However, a big focus was controlling what we can, and we've kind of made that our mantra is all the way through the lockdowns is what can we control. I can control things about if I'm going to be active in the day and a variety of other things, and we've tried to promote good positive messages to our group to help them lift up, and as reminders for ourselves too. I'm no different. I'm a human being with challenges in a day-to-day. Things are heavy sometimes, and I need to surround myself with people who are reminding me so that we're still continuing to be positive in our approaches. And but it's been tough. I can go on about different stories. I've got dozens of them over the year that are not great to disclose, but they're very real, and they're very they're the reasons why we opened up our second business, because we knew that people were going through hard times and we wanted to help them. So it was challenging.
Yeah.
Prompted
Yeah.
a bit.
That's great that you've done that. So you've changed, or you've morphed the business model, and also just in your explanation of what the members are experiencing, and we've talked about that too, Dan, is the importance of exercise, the importance that plays in the lives of people and people's mental health. Like, would you be able to comment on that at all?
So we did a poll. We had a celebration of 7-year anniversary on Zoom about 2 weeks ago, February 1st. And the number one thing that people were looking forward to when they get back to the gym was seeing other human beings. And so not the equipment, not anything else that we said, it was a human beings. And through multiple discussions, the biggest thing that people lean on is that community environment. That's what keeps them coming back. Yes, their bodies are changing. Yes, they're creating better, mindset, approaches and things like that. But it's a community. It's the people that they work out with that they look forward to the most. So challenging, yes, but we try to create other opportunities for members to be connected with others. So a variety of other social outings, a variety of other, connectors and ways that we've done in terms of like weekly calls, specifically having a flock of people that coaches reach out to every week to check in and make sure that they're okay, seeing what we can do to help. But it's been challenging. Members have gone through it, and some have, jumped into transitioning to online stuff or other ways that have been positive to deal with the challenges of COVID, and some, like any big group haven't. And it's been tough. So we've been trying to do our best to provide support, being that we are really good at using, as coaches and a staff, workouts to deal with stress. Workouts come in, The day that we went in, Kevin, for our second lockdown was in the fall, this most recent, and it was coming out of being open for a while. So things are rolling back in. Lockdown on a Friday, obviously very upset. The first thing I did, Kevin, was go do a workout for an hour. I knew through experience that would help me process what was going on, come out of it with a little bit more clarity and more better mental health to process and move forward. So we promote that, and a lot of people have used the workouts for that, not just the aesthetics.
That's awesome. That's great. I'll switch gears with you just a little bit, Dan. You're a young dude. You're coming out of university, and maybe it's an opportunity to do a bit of a shout out too. But you decide to get into this business. Are there some people that inspired you, or maybe they were mentors, or maybe they were coaches that might have said to you, you know what, Dan, you'd be good at this. Like, take a shot at this. That you'd be good in this field. Like, how did that all come about?
As I went through junior, I feel like I had a new coach every year. It's just the way that it worked out for my junior career. There was coaching changes. So in a good way, I got to experience a bunch of different coaching styles and personalities. And one of the biggest influences was a coach of mine, James Boyd. He's now the GM of Ottawa 67s. And he just was adamant about, doing good things in terms of, keep your car clean, treat people with respect, work very hard, read, just general good messages as I went through the OHL. So he was a guy I still do look up to, and how he carried himself. And he worked out. He's very active even after his playing career, just continued to be fit and strong. Other coaches, I would say a huge kind of second dad is my old boss from Firepower, George Savard. He was a big influence in the fact that he gave me an opportunity to coach, and he believed in me as a coach, and gave me valuable feedback for years, and gave me opportunities to take on stuff that I was maybe unsure of myself about, but that he believed in me that I could accomplish, and to the point where my wife and I opened up our own business, and I take what he's given me and try and give that to others who are starting out and maybe are new coaches. And a variety of other coaches along the way. But, off the top of my head, those are a couple that were good ones in terms of like my junior career and then coming into the coaching world that really helped shape who I am.
That's amazing. Like when you think about it, a lot of these really skilled young players that are jumping into playing junior, for example, they're young kids and they're away from home and they need that guidance and support. Certainly as they're doing that. On the same topic, Dan, when you think about developing your business and you think about starting out something, what were some of the barriers that maybe you and your wife had to get over before you can sort of take off?
Who do you want to coach? So you can't coach everybody. I can't run a boot camp and team training for AAA hockey teams, and you can't do everything. So who's your audience that you're trying to help in a very like a somewhat loose form? There's obviously opportunities for a variety of different. So that was a big thing, is that like, who do we want to be as a gym, and who needs help, and who can we help based on our experiences. So we looked at that to start, to kind of give ourselves some focus on where to go with the gym. But I mean, it's certifications are great. You can have 20 certifications, become at a university and have your master's, but if you don't care about people and their well-being, you are not going to make it very far in this industry. And the biggest thing that I've learned from previous coaches who I look up to, and what I try to tell young coaches, is there's two things I look for when you're hiring. Do you care? Do you care about other people? And that's shown in, do you volunteer? Do you do charity work? Are you thinking of others? Are you assessing your interpersonal skills on ways that you can help somebody else with the role that you have? Do you care? Like, deep in your soul, do you care? If you do, check. And are you cool? Are you somebody that like I would want to hang out with a little bit, maybe go on a road trip with? Those are two main things that I've pulled from Ben Bergeron, who's a coach in the States, that I look at for young people for hiring them. All the other stuff, you can go get certs along the way in terms of building up your resume and having to be something that pads and adds to that part of the coaching profile. but you have to care, man. You have to care about other people to the point where it exhausts you sometimes. And you have to be somewhat relatable to those people so they kind of feel comfortable coming to you for advice on health and fitness.
That's such a good point. Like in my world too, Dan. Most of the sort of the therapeutic traction that we get, that's the number one thing: is does the person who's sitting in front of you believe in you and believe that they can work with you? That is by far the number one parameter of whether or not you're going to be successful or not. So we always got to keep that in mind.
So you just said the word belief, and I think that's a huge thing, Kevin, because let's assess the general person that comes into our business, whether it's at Street Gym or rxRecourse. Do they have people in their life that believe in them? Maybe. A lot of people do not have a person or a group of people that believe they can be better and that they can do good. They just don't have a person in their life. Maybe they go to an Instagram post and they read it and they feel flared up for a second, and then that fizzles. Do they have a real person who cares about them and believes that they are capable of change in a positive way? That is a massive, massive thing that we as coaches and people who are caregivers to a certain degree have to be aware of, and then just continue to help people with, because they don't have that. Their bosses, like other people in a lot of people's lives, don't have a person that believes in them. So we try to position ourselves and realize that, and then carry it out every day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Dan, I want to thank you so much today. My takeaway is that positivity that you have, and that personal relationship that you could have no matter what you do with somebody, that you really make a difference. So I want to thank you today for being on the show, and sharing some of your stories with us. That was really good.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Okay. So we'll post Dan's contact information on our website. And again, you could be in touch with ChangeWorks Interactive. We are on all the social media platforms. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay active, and stay safe. Thanks again, Dan.
Thank you.